Minecraft, an open sandbox game that first came into existence in the year 2009. And since then, Minecraft has sold over 300 million copies, giving joy to millions of children all around the world. A game that is in the debate of one of the greatest games ever created. A game that allows players to be entirely free, with the only limits being the player's imagination. A game so simple and basic, yet allows the creativity of its players to bloom. With the popularity of the game continually rising since its release, an ambitious idea of a movie was formed in the year 2014. With many ups and downs with the production and the clash of many different ideas as to what a movie about a legendary game should be about. 10 years later, the teaser for a movie about this said game, a game that has given me and millions of others wonderful memories, has finally been released.
I am Steve.
Yikes, that's pretty bad. Lord of behold, it finally came. Despite all the ridiculous amount of memes and jokes that came back from the early 2010s, the Minecraft movie is finally coming. And boy oh boy, does it look like it's fucking ass, I gotta say. Right off the bat, let's get something clear first. Yes, childhood is a childhood favorite game of mine. Probably one of my favorite games of all time. Top 5 for sure. I grew up watching Minecraft content on YouTube. This is how one of the reasons why I grew up on YouTube, because of Minecraft. This game holds a very special place in my heart, and to see that the movie came to be like this really does put like a bad taste in my mouth regarding the franchise. In a world where Hollywood is running out of ideas for what new movies to create, they decide to look at the gaming franchise or the gaming industry to see what they could get their grubby little hands on to milk. And it's always been an agreed upon opinion that anytime companies or Hollywood would try to make a video game into a movie, it would always turn out terrible. Look at the Resident Evil franchise, in terms of movies at least. A lot of these movies are just garbage. You can just turn your brain off and that's it. They're not really that great of movies. It wasn't until recently where one movie essentially changed his whole opinion whatsoever. And that movie was the first Sonic movie. And it seems like since then, companies were actually trying to make movies out of IPs and make them good, like the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was honestly, in my opinion, a great movie. But recently we got the Borderlands movie, and that movie was hot diggity trash. It wasn't even fun bad. It seemed to be just plain old boring, where they just shit dump a whole lot of money into it. And now we have the Minecraft movie trailer, or the teaser at least. And boy oh boy, it looks like it's gonna be one of the fucking worst movies ever made, or one of the worst gaming movies ever made. Now, one of the first things that comes to my mind when I saw the teaser trailer is, why on earth did they decide to make this movie live action? What's the purpose of it? One of the whole things about Minecraft, or what makes it Minecraft, is the fact that it's all blocks. It's cubic and it's all blocks. So why on earth are we trying to bring a live action element into a franchise that has nothing to do with how the real world looks? It looks like the director of this movie, when he was doing research on Minecraft, he saw the realistic texture packs that were somewhat popular back in the day for adventure maps, and decided, you know what, we're gonna make the Minecraft movie look like that. Yeah, we're gonna make this cow look like this shit right here. This some nice ass fucking textures right here. He probably went up to fucking Warner Brothers and was just like, this is how I want the Minecraft movie to look like this ugly ass fucking cow. And Warner Brothers was probably like, you know what, man, here you go. Here's $150 million for you to play with. Go make a movie about an IP that is so favored by a lot of fans, and try not to ruin it. In all seriousness though, this really just kind of shows that Warner Brothers doesn't really give a fuck. It seems like to me what Warner Brothers' whole goal was with this movie was to kind of have a cash grab. Like, it's known that Minecraft is a very huge game, one of the most popular games ever created, and it's famous all around the world. So I guess they saw that it was very popular and decided, you know what, let's create a movie about it, and hopefully we're gonna get a lot of people to come to the theaters to watch it. But honestly speaking, who wants to watch this garbage ass shit? This looks, I don't know, it just looks bad. It doesn't look really fun. It just looks very goofy, and not in a good way. Now, a lot of people are probably gonna be arguing that this movie is made for kids. It's not made for adults. You're a grown-ass man. Why on earth do you care if the movie's good or not? This fucking game was a huge important part of my childhood. Not to mention, I would care if I had a child. I would care if the movies he was watching that were made for kids were actually good movies, well-written movies. This is the problem. We're settling for mediocrity and just brain rot shit when we should be settling for movies that are actually really good or just pretty well written for our children. I mean, think about it. We have a lot of cartoons nowadays that are just kind of poorly written, not very well written at all. And back then, in my time, when cartoons were made, These cartoons were fucking awesome. They were well written, like invested our feelings and our time and thoughts into these cartoons and the characters that were there. Nowadays, cartoons seem to be very just designed to keep the child's eyes onto it for a very long time. So to me, it seems like Warner Brothers is trying to do this. They don't really care if they make a good movie about Minecraft or not. They just kind of want to grab a lot of attention, bring a lot of people to the theaters to watch it. And to be fair, yeah, I'm going to fall for the trap. I'm going to go to the movie theaters and watch this movie when it comes out because I love Minecraft and I want to fucking see it. I want to see if it's good or not. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully this movie is the fucking greatest movie ever made. But I highly doubt that because it does not look good. I feel like if they actually cared about this movie, they wouldn't have made it live action. Now, I said before that the movie was announced in 2014, or production for the movie was announced in 2014. So what has been happening these past 10 years that it took them so long to finally come out with a trailer for the movie? Well, the story is that actually the movie was not supposed to be directed by the current director at all. Even Jack Black was not supposed to be in the movie. Hell, it wasn't even supposed to be live action. The movie was actually supposed to be animated. Actual plans for the movie is that it was supposed to come out in 2020. And it was supposed to be directed and also helped produce by Rob McElhenney. Now, if you guys don't know that name, Rob McElhenney is one of the stars of one of the most famous and iconic TV shows or comedy TV shows of all time. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the guy that was supposed to direct the actual Minecraft movie was Matt from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I've had orgasms! I've had tons of orgasms! I've had one with your mom, dude! I will strangle you! I'll stick my goddamn thumb through your eye!
And honestly, it seems like we were robbed. I'm not so sure as who came to who first in terms of directing this movie, but it seemed like Rob actually had a lot of passion and was very ambitious when it came to this movie.
Are you comfortable saying what your take was? Because I've had lengthy conversations with like my nephews trying to explain what Minecraft is to me, and I still don't honestly get it. So I'm just curious, like what a
My
Rob
take was?
McElhenney
Sure.
version of Minecraft would have been.
Yeah, so I'm comfortable talking about it because fuck them at this point. You know, I loved playing the game and I love playing it with my kids. And I basically and Lego had just come out, and Chris and Phil to me are like, I mean, they're like comedy gods, right? So I sort of looked at it the same way, which is like if video games that I've seen, video game movies in the past, most of which don't work. And I think part of the reason they don't work is because there's already a fixed narrative. And the experience of gaming is that you're a part of the narrative to a certain extent, right? Like you're controlling what's happening in the game. And then all of a sudden you see it up in movie form and you're like, well, now I'm
passive.
I'm a passive, right? And so I thought one of the greatest assets that to Minecraft was that it didn't have a fixed narrative, that it was an open world experience, and that all you were essentially given were the building blocks to do whatever you want. And so it was one of those games where of course it's a much younger audience. I thought, what an amazing tool, much like Legos, right? Except now you're talking with infinite possibilities because it's digital, to give to kids. And not just kids, but any person who feels powerless, right? And kids mostly feel powerless. All day long they're being told what to do, how to dress, do your homework, go to bed, And I felt like that could maybe extend to other people. And I think everybody feels marginalized to a certain extent. You feel as though your boss is telling you what to do all day long, or your spouse is, or you just feel like you don't have this sense of agency over your own life.
Right.
And the game gave you that. And I thought, man, that's a really profound experience. And I think that's why it's really hitting all over the world, because these kids, it might seem silly, but these kids, and the graphics were awful by design, because who cares? The most important part was that you were given agency over your own experience in the game. And that's sort of what I started with.
He wanted it to be animated, and it seems like they already had a script going and it was just being rewritten over and over again. And he even had the opportunity to bring Steve Carell on board for the movie. See, Rob saw Minecraft as a game that had a whole lot of potential when it came to movie making. He recognized that there was no actual story behind Minecraft. There was actual lore behind it, but there's no actual direct narrative when it comes to playing the games. He saw this as a blank canvas for one of the most greatest potential movies ever told. He thought with this blank canvas of his, he can tell almost any kind of story he wanted to. And he seemed like he really wanted to tell a story where players and viewers were able to be somewhat free and kind of explore the freedom or the idea of freedom that Minecraft gave its players. And he wanted it to be animated as well. He felt like as live action would pretty much take away a lot of element from the movie. One of the things he always said about video games was pretty much that when it comes to video games, the player is always there. The player is involved. The player is engaged with the story, the characters in the world of the video game. But when every time we bring a video game from the games to a movie screen, the player or the audience is no longer directly involved. They are more invested, but they're not involved. So he wanted to try to challenge this kind of trope and try to make a Minecraft movie where the players would, or the viewers would feel involved when it comes to the movie. And it seemed like all was going well. He had Steve Carell on board for starring in the movie. It seemed like the script was all ready and done. It was just being rewritten again and again. But unfortunately, after 2 years and a half, the movie was scrapped. And it seems like it was scrapped because one of the heads at Warner Brothers retired and a new head came in with different ideas. And it seemed like his ideas clashed with Rob's quite a bit. And it seemed like the movie ended up just dead in the waters. But regardless, it being pretty much a dead idea, Warner Brothers still wanted to create a movie out of it. So they decided to hire an actor named Jared Hess, who's pretty much well known for the Nacho Libre movies. But honestly, from what I can tell, it seems like he doesn't really know too much about this game. He sees it as a challenge, sure, when it comes to directing it. And he also recognizes that there's no story behind Minecraft as well. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel as ambitious or caring that Rob was showing when he spoke about the franchise. Jared states that he wanted to avoid an ugly Sonic situation and that most people who want to adapt an IP into a movie should try to avoid the ugly Sonic situation. He states, and I quote, "I think anybody that does any IP, they want to avoid an ugly Sonic situation. I just can't disappoint the 10-year-olds or they're going to murder us." But honestly, this looks pretty fucking ugly. I don't know why you would want to make it live action. I feel like making it live action would be the worst thing to do for a Minecraft movie. This movie seems like it's going to be made for kids, which is fine. That's great. But I think it's important that if we're going to make movies for kids, we should still make it very well written and narratively sound. I think it's quite frequent a lot of days that, like I said earlier, we have a lot of children's content, but a lot of it is just designed to keep your attention through just colorfuls or just short attention span techniques. Or back in the day, the way we kept our attention on TV was because the stories were good. This narrative was good. The characters were awesome. And it seems like for the production of this movie, producers don't actually care about the history of this game. Sure, there's a lot of new young fans who love Minecraft. I'm not trying to take that away. I think it's wonderful that we're trying to bring more people onto the franchise, or it's just a good idea to turn such a fun game to a movie for children. But at the same time, let's not ignore its history and just kind of forget about it and just, like I said, ignore all this other kind of shit for it. There are still a lot of movies out there that are for kids, but also people who were young once and enjoyed the franchises could actually still enjoy. Sonic, Super Mario Brothers. Fuck, I don't know, a whole lot of other fucking movies. It just seems like Minecraft is just not one of those movies. Now, there's not a whole lot of details about the story of Minecraft for the movie, but it seems like it's going to go with the idea that 4 people are getting stuck into the Minecraft world and they're trying to find a way to escape it. And they're going to get the help from Steve, played by Jack Black. Now, we've seen this kind of plotline before where players get sucked into a game and they try to find a way to escape it. And my predictions for the movies is that essentially it's going to be following around one of the main characters whose name is Garrett the Garbage Man, if I'm correct. And essentially, I believe what's going to happen is that Garrett's going to be kind of like this loser in the real world. And once he gets into the Minecraft world, he's going to feel alive. He's going to feel like he finally belongs. And he's probably going to want to stay or some shit. I don't know who the main antagonist is going to be. Probably some Minecraft mob or some shit. I don't know what Steve is supposed to be doing in this movie as well. That's another critique of mine. I don't think they should have brought Steve into this at all, in my opinion. I felt like since it's Minecraft, you had a whole lot of opportunities to do anything else other than bring Steve into this. Steve is supposed to be this character that's just non-verbal, I guess, story or narrative at all. Like, it's supposed to be this character where the players can be whoever the fuck they want. I mean, look at the other Minecraft IPs. We have Minecraft Dungeons, Minecraft Legends, Minecraft fucking story mode, where they don't have Steve in it at all, but instead they have different characters involved. But it seems like they can't be original and decide to just fucking handpick Steve in order to create a Minecraft movie. It's already clear to people who are watching this that I don't think this movie is going to be good at all. But I do see this movie going 3 ways. The first way is that it's going to be goofy but really good. There's plenty of movies out there that are actually really goofy but pretty good. Dumb and Dumber, Andy Samberg starring in Hot Rod, or the Goofy movie, right? These movies were all goofy, but they were actually really good and fun to watch. Now, the second way I see this movie going is that it's bad, but it's actually very fun bad. Now, the most prime example of a movie being like this is the Sharknado movies and, of course, the best movie of all time, Moonfall. I hope the movie is like this. I hope the movie is actually good, but I feel like the movie is either going to fall between option 2 and option 3. Option 3 being the movie's just hot ass. That's it. It's going to have another Borderlands situation where they thought they could just throw a bunch of money at a fucking IP and we can shit out a good movie. But no, you can't just do that. You actually have to put care and thought into what you're creating or art you're creating. And it just seems like they're not actually caring about this IP at all. So I feel like this movie is actually just going to be bad. It's not really fun to look at. It's also doesn't seem like exciting at all. One fortunate thing though that people should know and probably forgot about, Minecraft is actually getting an animated series by Netflix. That's right. Minecraft is getting an animated series by Netflix, and it's going to be an original story with original characters. So hopefully it's going to be good. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.
Basher and Bluma.
Guys, welcome to the first episode of Sky Does Minecraft.
Place is incredibly insane animatronics. It's gonna be all good.
Perfect. What are you doing here? Get out! Get out!
You better not kill me, dude.
Hey guys, Anthem here. And Dan here from the Dino Minecraft.
Why wouldn't you eat when you had a minute? What's going on, dudes? It's Pat, and welcome back to another Minecraft video.
Hey guys!
Alright, one Spikezilla, another Spikezilla.
You think they're all gonna die again?
Hi guys, Sandy here, and a little piggy.